Welcome back to Machine Universe. Today, we're taking you inside some of the world's most advanced high-tech sawmills, massive industrial powerhouses where giant logs from around the inside these facilities, precision and power, work together seamlessly. The moment a log arrives, machines, scanners, conveyors, and computer-guided blades jump into action. In seconds, a tree that took decades to grow is scanned, cut, shaped, and stacked with incredible efficiency. There's something distinctly American about the lumber industry, a tradition rooted in our history and visible in the towns we build. For centuries, our forests have provided the timber that shaped everything from early colonial homes. The old image of axe and saw loggers may be gone, replaced by modern machines, but the craft remains the same, turning a tree shaped by decades of nature into strong, reliable building material. Welcome to Newton Timber Company, where that legacy continues with cutting-edge innovation. Here, generations of experience meet advanced engineering to create one of the nation's most refined hardwood operations. It's not your grandpa's sawmill, but he'd still recognize the pride, precision, and respect behind every board. At Newton, tradition and technology work side by side to carry the industry forward. The journey begins deep in the forest, where selective logging keeps the ecosystem healthy and sustainable. Modern loggers can cut, trim, and set trees in seconds, a huge improvement over the back-breaking day-long work of sawmill workers in the 1880s, who relied on handsaws and axes. Each operator must combine skill, precision, and knowledge of the forest to ensure each felling is safe and efficient. Once the trees are felled, powerful sleds take over, pulling multiple logs over rough terrain. These machines move with careful control, protecting both the precious timber and the forest floor. Each haul is calculated to maximize efficiency while minimizing environmental impact, reflecting decades of refinement in modern logging. From the initial felling to the transport of the logs to the landing site, the process represents a remarkable combination of technology, skill, and respect for the forest ecosystem. Once the logs reach the landing area, they're loaded onto specialized logging trucks designed to handle massive timber safely. These aren't ordinary flatbeds. Modern log haulers use advanced suspension systems, reinforced frames, and precise load distribution to carry up to 25 tons of wood down mountain roads and highways. The drivers are true experts, often third or fourth generation log truck operators who know every curve and grade in their territory. Their skill ensures each load makes it from forest to mill safely and efficiently. As logs enter the Buer facility, they move into a system where technology and craftsmanship work together. They're quickly sorted by species, size, and grade with help from advanced scanners. Buer specializes in top-tier hardwoods like oak, hard maple, cherry, and walnut. Each wood type needs its own handling method. Oak's interlocking grain, for example, requires different cutting speeds and blade settings than hard maple. Logs first pass through the debarking station, where modern ring debarkers remove bark cleanly and protect blades from the grit inside it. Then they move to metal detection, which catches hidden nails, staples, or bullets before they can damage a saw or cause an accident. Now we reach the heart of the sawmill, the Headrig. Buer uses a computerized bandsaw with the operator in a climate-controlled cab, positioning each log with precision. And even with modern controls, it still takes real experience to read a log's taper, sweep, and hidden traits. The bandsaw itself is a high-speed loop of steel with carbide-tipped teeth that can cut hardwood for hours before dulling. Old circular saws from the mid-1900s dulled in minutes and wasted much more wood. The difference in accuracy and efficiency is night and day, and it shows in every clean, consistent cut. Here's where precision shines. Optical scanners create a 3D profile of each log and calculate the best cutting pattern in microseconds, factoring in knots and defects. The gang rip saw uses multiple blades to turn logs into boards with tight accuracy. In the 1970s, mills produced about 50,000 board feet per shift. Today, operations like Buer can triple or quadruple that with less waste. Next, the boards are edged and trimmed for clean, parallel sides and standard lengths. Scanners and servo-controlled saws optimize yield and remove defects. Each board is tracked for full traceability, then graded from top to lower grades for various uses. Lumber is carefully stacked on kiln sticks for even drying, combining science and craftsmanship to prevent warping and defects. While hardwood gets most of the glory, softwoods are the backbone of construction, framing our homes and building our floors. The AKZ Sawmill, supplying Alsford Timber Limited, specializes in processing softwood species like pine, spruce, fir, and cedar, the very woods that have helped shape the modern world. Softwood harvesting starts much like hardwood logging, with crews dropping and bunching trees in the woods. But the approach shifts fast. Softwood forests are usually planted or naturally regenerated, which makes them perfect for highly mechanized, efficient harvesting. The trees grow straighter, more uniform, and much faster, with pines reaching harvest size in 25-35 years, compared to 60-100 years for oaks or maples. At AKZ, softwood milling is all about speed, efficiency, and large-scale output. Unlike hardwoods, softwoods are lighter, straighter, and grow more uniformly, which allows mills to process logs at much higher feed rates. That doesn't make the work easier. It requires a different set of skills and expertise. Operators must constantly monitor complex machines, adjust for variations in each log, and ensure the flow of material stays fast and safe. Precision and experience are just as important as speed. The debarking stage sets the tone for the entire process. Smaller logs tumble through enormous drum debarkers, where rotating steel ribs strip bark as the logs collide and roll against each other. Larger logs move through ring debarkers, similar to those used in hardwood mills, producing a cleaner, more precise finish. Before mechanical debarkers became standard in the mid-20th century, logs were soaked in massive mill ponds for months to loosen bark while also preserving the wood. These ponds were once defining features of American sawmill towns, shaping both the landscape and local industry, though most have since disappeared. Once debarked, logs are fed into high-speed head rigs and saw lines that combine bandsaws and circular saws. The first cuts often produce standard dimensional lumber, 2x4s, 206, 208s, directly from the log, unlike hardwood mills that rely on multiple resaw stages and cants. The goal in softwood milling is simple: maximize linear feet of structural lumber, not wide, clear boards. Advanced scanners and optimization software calculate how to extract the most usable material from each log, while grading focuses on strength rather than appearance. Knots, wane, and other natural features are acceptable as long as the board retains structural integrity. Softwoods are categorized as whitewood, spruce, pine, and fir, or redwood, Douglas fir, and southern yellow pine, giving builders and mills a clear understanding of material properties. High-speed trimming and edging lines run faster than the eye can follow. Yet, modern safety measures, including laser guards, automatic shutoffs, and physical barriers, protect operators in what was once one of the most hazardous trades in America. After initial processing, the sawn lumber moves through grading stations, where trained and often certified graders stamp each piece according to standardized rules developed decades ago. This uniform system, recognized across the industry, ensures that a contractor in Florida can order lumber with confidence, knowing it will meet the same quality standards as material purchased in Oregon or Maine. From there, the fresh-cut boards are carefully dried in kilns under strict quality control, ensuring they reach the precise specifications that customers expect. Softwood kiln schedules differ significantly from hardwoods. Higher temperatures, faster cycles, and unique moisture curves allow many softwoods to be fully dried in less than a week, paired with the weeks or even months required for dense hardwoods. Facilities like AKZ reflect decades of refinement in an industry constantly balancing productivity with sustainability, speed with quality, and tradition with innovation. Each 2 or 4 framing a house, each floorboard beneath one's feet, represents a direct link to responsibly managed forests, optimized manufacturing processes, and efficient material handling. In every stamped board and kiln-dried plank, the careful combination of expertise, technology, and industry standards comes together to deliver lumber that builders and homeowners can trust. The cotton block takes a balanced approach to lumber processing, handling both hardwoods and softwoods with a system built for flexibility and quality. Achieving this requires advanced machinery and skilled operators who understand the nuances of different wood species. Logs harvested with modern equipment and transported by specialized trucks first enter a sorting yard, where careful grading by species and quality begins. This initial sorting is crucial. Mixing species before milling reduces efficiency. Different woods require different approaches. Dense, interwoven oak needs slower feed rates and aggressive blade geometry for clean cuts, while softer, uniform pine can be processed faster with less wear on tools. By adjusting speeds, feed rates, and blade settings to each species, cotton block ensures precision, efficiency, and consistent quality across its diverse timber. At Cotton Block, the nth head Headrig uses advanced scanning technology to create three-dimensional models of each log before the first cut. This isn't science fiction, it's industry-standard engineering. Laser or camera-based scanners map the log's exterior, identifying sweep, taper, and surface defects. Optimization software then calculates cutting patterns to maximize lumber recovery. The difference between optimized and good enough cuts can mean thousands of dollars in recovered wood per shift. This is where experience and technology intersect. Saw operators can override computer recommendations using knowledge that software can't replicate. Understanding grain patterns from thousands of similar logs, recognizing market demand for certain sizes, or detecting subtle internal defects invisible to scanners allows operators to make smarter decisions. The best operators treat technology as a powerful tool, not a replacement for expertise. Cotton Block's breakdown process strategically combines bandsaws and circular saws. Bandsaws excel at slicing large logs and producing thin, precise boards, converting less material to sawdust. Typical bandsaw kerfs are around 1/8 inch compared to 1/4 inch or more for circular saws, making a huge difference across thousands of cuts per day. Circular saws, meanwhile, handle higher production speeds and resist deflection in certain applications. Smart mill design leverages the strengths of each saw type for maximum efficiency and recovery. The resaw operation is particularly impressive. After initial Headrig cuts produce thick cants, They are fed through multi-blade band resaws that simultaneously slice them into multiple boards with extreme precision. Maintaining parallel cuts across thousands of inches while blades spin at thousands of RPM requires decades of engineering refinement, evolving from the crude bandsaws of the 1800s to today's computer-controlled systems. Servo-driven edging and trimming lines adjust each blade in real time, optimizing every cut to maximize recovery and minimize waste. A mechanical ballet where every movement is calculated in milliseconds. Cottonbrock also combines human expertise with advanced technology. Automated cameras and pattern recognition help identify defects and suggest grades, but experienced operators make the final call, applying knowledge of grain patterns, market demand, and subtle internal flaws invisible to scanners. This combination ensures consistency while maintaining flexibility to meet custom specifications. Finishing is another standout feature. Boards are planned to precise thickness and smooth surfaces using high-speed multi-head planers with blades balanced to micron-level tolerances and spinning up to 5,000 RPM. Proper maintenance and blade setup demand expert skill, with carbide tooling simplifying some tasks while the core precision remains artisanal. Kiln operations add another layer of complexity. Cottonbrock handles multiple species with differing drying schedules simultaneously. Operators carefully assemble loads by species and thickness, applying decades of knowledge encoded in modern control systems to monitor temperature, humidity, and moisture content. Every step at Cottonbrock adds value while respecting the material. From forest to finished board, logs begin a multi-generational journey, emerging as lumber for homes, furniture, and structures that serve human needs for decades. The operation honors traditional craftsmanship while embracing innovation, continually evolving to transform trees into the building blocks of our modern world. You're from the towering pines of Mississippi to the beams and boards that frame American homes. The journey of lumber is a story of patience, skill, and respect for the forest. Mega sawmills don't just cut trees, they honor them, blending human expertise with cutting-edge technology to unlock the full potential of each log. Every slice, every planed surface, every board leaving the mill carries decades of growth, generations of craftsmanship, and the quiet wisdom of the woods. Watching this process, it's clear that lumber is more than material. It's a bridge between nature and human life. The pine that once swayed in the Mississippi wind now supports families, builds schools, and stands as a testament to the harmony of tradition and innovation. In every nail, every beam, and every floorboard, the story of the forest lives on. And in that story, we see the heartbeat of America itself, resilient, resourceful, and deeply rooted in the land.